Asher Roth in London once again.
Yeah.
As I was saying off camera, I swear to God, you got some chick over here.
Couple illegitimate children. stay out in London. But no, man, it's a testament, man. London town's a good town to be.
Okay. Now, since the album has dropped, you've been touring crazy. Do you enjoy touring, or is it just a chance for you to be with your fans?
I mean, don't get me wrong. It's work. It's hard work. But man, like, I'd much rather be touring and running around and being a chance to really, I'd really want to do it over anything else. It's better than digging a hole in 106-degree weather, you know what I mean? So it really beats a lot of the stuff that, would be an alternative. So touring to me is kind of what it's all about. You get to see new things, see new people, meet new people, and just do something. You wake up and you don't have the same day every day, It's a show, but the show's almost become second nature, and it's all about traveling I've been to 6 countries in the past 8 days, and wow. I couldn't ever say that about anything else.
That's crazy. Did you do the V Festival?
We did the V Fest.
How did you find the festival in the UK?
Man, well, one, it's set up really well, man. It's smooth. It's smooth, and the catering's good. So shout out to Richard Branson on that one. But for the most part, V Fest was a blast, man. Sunny day on the first one, and yesterday was a little bit cloudy, but we just kind of wilded out a little bit more. Okay.
Now, the album has dropped. It's been a few months. I didn't get a chance to speak to you when the album dropped. I'm interested in speaking about Sour Patch Kids.
Okay.
I think it's an interesting song to have. I think it's a great song, but I think it's interesting to have it amongst college girls drinking, sex, everything like that, and have something that's so serious. We're talking about homelessness, the American dream,
absolutely,
everything like that. What made you do a track like that and put it there?
Well, I mean, interesting enough, that's kind of really where I stand. Yeah, in college, it's all fun and games. It's a lot of fun to mess around with some girls and loosen up. But there's 7 days in a week, and really that goes down once, maybe twice. Maybe rock out on a Friday and a Saturday.
Okay.
But what's going on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and a Sunday? You know what I mean? There's a lot of other moods and topics of conversation that I'm discussing throughout that week. And I'm not a political rapper. I don't want to sound political or anything like that, because politics to me is just another word for bullshit. It's just all hoopla and talk and nonsense, really. So it's just really, it's talking about real issues. So, in Sour Patch Kids, if the Fortune 500s run the country, it's one company. If you're not accompanied, would you mind grabbing me a cup of tea? You know what I mean? We have been programmed, if you will, to kind of just work for the man, essentially. And they don't want us to be smart. They don't want us to ask questions, They don't want that public outcry. And once they get there, like, oh, no. And, Barack Obama's the man. He's great and everything, for sure, whatever. But he's really just some guy up there that's keeping everybody calm, in the States, rather. Everything's okay. And he's got this, this aura about him that's comforting. But for the most part, there's a lot of shit going on. And honestly, man, it almost comes to a point where ignorance is bliss.
Yeah.
It's just like, I don't even want to know all the craziness that's going on, because it's that bad. I mean, and this is, these topics of conversation with me can go on forever. When, religion is a fantastic stoner conversation for me. You know what I mean? I think that's something that's mind-boggling. As the same thing with our universe, to how vast and ever expanding it is, to how intricate the human body is, to just capillaries. That's the stuff that I actually like to talk about. But you start talking about it in rap songs, people are like, Bill Nye the Science Guy over here. Like, I want to listen to some like hood shit. So you don't want to come off too preachy, but you want to be able to drop some stuff in there. People are like, wait, what? Oh, yeah, I kind of feel this. And then you can get people talking. That's all I want, man. Some people love me. Some people hate me. You can't have everybody love you. You can't. You can't have everybody hate you either. There's a plus and a negative side to the battery. You need that for balance. So I love the fact that some people hate me, love the fact that some people love me, and let them talk about it. That's all I want, man. So with Sour Patch Kids, it's one of those just, let's get some conversation out there. Hey, did you hear what happened? And you know what I mean? And same thing with the Millie, the CNN, talking about, we're talking about obesity in that. We're talking about poverty. We're talking about, freaking my man committing, George Bush committing treason. Bush is the man, in my opinion, because he finally portrayed how manipulative and you know, controlling and concealing of information our government really is. And it took, everyone was like, oh, everything's fine and dandy over here in the States. And then finally Bush came along and be like, no, we've been lying to you this whole time. And we needed that. We needed that wake-up call. So I think just as people, not just American people, but as people, we need to be asking more questions. Okay. And that's kind of what Sour Patch Kids and songs in the future are really going to be hoping for. It's just ask why not. That Age of Enlightenment, you know, back, what, 1500 or something like that, was huge. It was huge. Yeah. People started to ask why, and yeah, did the church bug out and everything like that because people are asking why? Absolutely. Yeah. But, you know, there's a reason for that. Okay.
Are you working on a new album at the moment?
Always working. I wouldn't say that I've sat down and been like, let's start working on the new album, because with me, I don't just, you know, buy my music, and I really need to create it and feel it. So I need to get in that space. And as artisty as it sounds or anything like that, I'm touring right now, and I'm focused on touring. So in the top of the year, 1, 2, 3, January, February, March, I'll be taking down time to just be creative. Okay. And I try to keep the two separate. Always working, keeping a journal, writing, rapping some freelance verses, but really genuinely working on the album. Second album, not yet.
Because through the grapevine, I heard that you may be working with Primo.
Maybe.
Pete Rock.
Maybe. These are my guys.
And Knots. Like, I'm like, those are 3 incredible legends. Producers. Yeah. Legends. Producer-wise, they're fantastic. Yeah. And I think that it'd be a great way for you to for your second album, if you were working with those producers, to go, right, we've got a Sleep in the Bread but now I'm coming with this. And that boom bap, I think it might go quite well.
Exactly. I mean, people heard Lark and they get it. Like, you know what I mean? So for me, I'll leave it at, I definitely have contact information to all 3 of those guys, and we definitely text message. Okay. So we'll leave it at that. I've yet to sit down in New York and knock it out, but those are my guys, and they are some of the most talented men on the planet.
Say there was a hip-hop college. Just hip-hop with hip-hop artists as lecturers, the dean.
For sure.
Who would be the dean? Who would be the lecturers, and what would they lecture on?
All right, well, Flavor Flav would have to teach a class, just because you need Flavor Flav in that staff. I think the dean of the college would probably be, would KRS-One make sense? He'd probably make sense because he's a professor as is. Yeah. Kane, Big Daddy Kane would definitely be teaching some classes. I'd have Rakim in there. These guys and Chuck D.
Would he be like a professor of politics?
Chuck D and KRS-One are my 2 for like up there in the faculty. Those are the guys that are like setting the rules and they run the shit. They're the disciplinary actions. Right. They kind of run the shit. But then you also have Nas would have to be in there. Man, and you've got to show some love to the West Coast as far as NWA. Dre would have to teach a class. I mean, these are guys, but you also got to bring in the producers as well. So when we were talking about the Premiers and the Pete Rocks, those guys, I mean, for me, being a kid, I'm still, you know, at 24, I'm absolutely one of the children of this game, and I'm still sitting in my desk, you know, paying attention, absolutely. When you kind of just shut up and listen to these guys, you learn so much, and I think that's really a problem with new age rappers, is they think they know everything, and they're not really appreciating what was actually set down as far as self-expression, as far as music, as far as what they've allowed us to be able to reach kids on an influential level. I mean, hip-hop taught me how to dress, talk, who to hang out with, what to do in my spare time. And you better believe there's a whole new wave and new generation of kids who are listening to cats like myself. So I have to understand that, and when you get a chance to sit down with these professors, these KRS-Ones, these Rakims, these Chuck D's, these Primos, these Pete Rocks, when you just listen to them, they're going to tell you so much on what you really need to know, and I think it really does start with, you know, appreciating the culture and the music.